that. Let's resize this again. Make this a little bit smaller. We'll have it like right here. There's gonna be more words that show up there though. Maybe move it up here. That look good? Okay. So, this might not be the most entertaining stream since I'm literally going to be going through these cards one at a time. As you can see, I've already sorted a bunch of them. The remainder of the blue cards I'm going to be sorting are still in this pouch. And the way I'm sorting them is cards that work towards my win condition. Even if they're bad, go in the left. Any card that doesn't necessarily work towards the win condition, but I would consider using, will go on the right. And the rest will be deleted, basically. I have a rule I go by whenever I'm designing my own decks, or even if I'm playing. The rule I go by is any card can be used as long as they have never been banned, and B, as long as as long as they don't use a gimmick that was only used in one of the expansion. There's been like 30 expansions, I think. There's a whole bunch of them. I say expansion, it's more like the edition. But yeah, as long as it's not a gimmick that was only used for a short while, it's fine by me. An example of that is something called horsemanship, where the card could only be blocked by other cards with horsemanship. I think that is very... I don't like it, because there's other abilities that do the same thing, but are actually used in most of the other expansions. So it just feels cheap. I don't know if that makes sense. The cards that I am going to be focusing on are going to be cards that draw other cards and cards that mill my opponent. So those are the ones that I'll be reveal it and shuffle your library and put it. Okay. Yeah, grab that. Lets me find the cards I'd actually want. So cards that search the library, cards that draw more cards, and cards that get rid of my opponent's cards. Those are my win conditions. Today's going to be a somewhat short stream since today is going to be my D&D day. Normally I would just have a video for these kinds of days. But so let me just think for a second. Normally I'd have a video out for D&D day, but I kind of just my friend is sick, and normally I would play at their house. Unfortunately, because they're sick, I can't play at their house, so instead we'll be doing it over Discord. And since we'll be doing it over Discord, I figured I will have time, since we usually start at 3. And that's really that. So, yeah. Oh, you were asking about the Queen of England. Yeah, I did hear about that. I heard about that. I heard about it yesterday, and it happened yesterday. So, obviously, I didn't hear about it before then. That would be a little silly. But yeah, I heard about it literally half an hour after it happened, thanks to my teacher. It's, yeah, this card is kind of bad. I'm just going to delete that. I would never play that. For each color of the card. This is just a bad card. I'll delete that one as well. It's interesting to me about how I was able to hear about it so quickly, because controls lanes are west lane during his or her upkeep. That's interesting. A little bit of control there. What was I saying? I don't know. Oh yeah, it's interesting to me just because it's like the nature of information in the modern era. Where, like, let's say 200 years ago, if you were living here and the Queen died in England, how long do you think it would take you to hear about it? Because it wouldn't be half an hour. It would be months before you could hear about it. Because they didn't have phones or anything like that. At best, they could send a bird to fly over the sea. More likely, you'd have people who come over by boat, and half of the time they die, so they'd send multiple boats, and then maybe you would hear about it. It's insane to think about how more easily available information has become. What the hell? This is a very... Oh, it's I don't like the snow gimmicks, so... Any snow-related cards will also be deleted. Yeah. Now, information is so readily available that we can hear about things happening on the other side of the Earth, just like within minutes. If I was more active on social media, I probably would have heard about it, like, even more sooner after it happened. Let me see. Hello, Tanya, and hello, Greedy Shadow. The only cost was war. Maybe they could send birds to send messages of Queen's death. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you could have a bird, but that would still take like maybe a month to get from England to here in America. So, wait. Oh no, it says draw mana. Right, so older cards have weird wording sometimes. And it sometimes confuses me. But yeah, so even then, the sheer amount of time means that you were probably not going to hear about it. And I'm not convinced that most people would care enough to hear about it, because it would have been months ago, it would be less prevalent to their immediate lifestyle, you know? Wait, all these claims on one side. Okay. Let me know if you want me to, like, explain any of these cards, because I can. Let's see, so what else is there that I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, last week. So, you might have noticed that last week was a video instead of a live stream. That's because me and my friends went to, Comic-Con. I actually got to see the Silent Shadow, there. And that was pretty cool. Me and my friends were holding up signs, promoting NPC rights and condemning the poor treatment that they have been receiving for years now. And if you've been watching the last few of my art streams, you will be a little bit more familiar with Mem NPC. Right, I get rid of that. A lot of the cards I'm getting rid of I'm throwing away because of one of A few reasons. For the most part, it's because they require me to have a multicolored deck, and that is not the intention of this deck I want to build. The deck I want to build is going to be a sorry, I have to like think for a second. The deck that I want to build is going to be a mono blue mill deck. Sorry, my brain is a little funky. I might have colorless artifacts or something like that. But yeah. Okay. So, right now I have a art events going on the Discord. The link to the Discord is down below. So I just realized that might be a problem. Let me change something, because I don't want you to see Discord stuff. So we're going to start. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Is this the one? It is. Okay. Let's try... That won't be enough. 100... 300. Okay. And might as well clean up the top as well. How's 30 looking? Not enough. There, that looks good. Let's see, I don't think birds could make the flight over oceans. This was a local over land. Right? Yeah. I mean, there might be some birds that... I know that there are birds that can travel for just ridiculous amounts of time by gliding to save energy. But, yeah. I should show the signs. The signs? Oh, maybe in a future video. Best moment at the convention? That's a good question. What would be the best moment at the convention? If you're worried about the changing screen, that's just me trying to clean it up so it looks better. Okay, going back to this. Okay, make it a bit taller again. And a little bit more. Here, does this look good? A little bit more. And a bit more. That should be it, right? Yeah, that looks fine. Cool, we can get back to doing this. Best moment at the convention, probably just talking to people, honestly. Being able to, like, share the experience of doing Mem NPC with just other congoers. People like to engage with it, and it's just really cool. It's the first time I've done something in which just seemingly everyone wants to participate, you know? I would go as far as to say it's like a dream come true, honestly. It's just so cool. But yeah. Let's see. So that's those. Right, so my current art event is the Draw Yourself as a Villain event. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. It's gonna be... I've already started drawing myself, but oh, this game, this card, Battle of Wits. I've made a Battle of Wits deck before. It is the polar opposite of reliable, unless you have a very specific, like, thing put together. I guess some background information for the card game would be useful. A standard... Okay. In Magic Gathering, the minimum number of cards you can have in a given deck is 60. You have to have at least 60 cards. Most people don't do more than 60 unless there's a specific reason, which is part of the inspiration for trying to go all in on a mill deck like this. I feel like there's an advantage I should be able to pull from that. Traumatize is a fun card. So yeah. Each turn you can play one land card. I've already organized all the land cards, so I can show you that stuff once I've started putting together the official deck. Until then, you're gonna have to just bear with me, I guess. One of the things I'm going to do once I'm done with this is deleting any duplicates that share artwork. Because you can have up to 4 of one card, but I want the deck to have some variety to them. So I will be, yeah, just doing that. Other cards I'm not even looking at are cards that target specific colors, because I don't want... Oh yeah, cards like this that rely on the other player to have a certain kind of card. Anything that's dependent on the other person having the right cards for me is not something I'm willing to play with, because it just isn't reliable. The very nature of what it is means it can never be reliable. And, And yeah. So, why do I want to do a mill deck? It's because... Well, actually, let me see. Wait. Best Monocon. Okay. Wait, did someone say anything? No. Okay. Why would I want to do a mill deck? To be honest, most win conditions in Magic the Gathering are something along the lines of beat the other person until they stop moving. And that can be fun, and there's a lot of different ways of doing that. But I just am more interested... let me take a quick drink. I'm just more interested in other kinds of win conditions. Seeing how I can play around, like, trying to stop them from doing that, and also making it so that them trying to stop me from doing the same doesn't affect me, because I'm not even trying to do that. Everyone is always playing around, keeping themselves alive and beating down the other person. So having a deck where the goal is just to get rid of the cards seems like it would be a lot more fun. At least for me, personally. There are other specific kinds of decks that I really enjoy playing. For example, I have it's a zombie deck where the creatures are all zombies. And the whole goal of it is to get as many of my cards into my own discard pile as quickly as I can, and then take them all out of the discard pile and putting them back onto... can you guys see that? I don't think you guys can see that. Okay, good. Again, putting them back onto the field all at once, and overwhelming them with by going from having nothing to having everything. Problem is it's a slow burner, and I usually... Oh, they just reveals the card. Okay, and I usually don't win with that one. But it's a lot of fun. I greatly enjoy it. Another kind of deck I have that I enjoy playing with is also a black deck, because zombies are black. There's 5 colors. There's red, white, blue, green, and black. I enjoy another black deck, which is my demonic deck, where it's just I am hurting myself over and over again and just getting big, scary guys onto the board really fast at the cost of hurting myself. And just the other person has to find a way of dealing with big, scary dudes before I take them out. I kind of become a anime villain when I play Magic the Gathering, because we're in the sense that. Sorry, I just had to read that. In the sense of like when I play with other people, I usually I will win like the first game or two, and then they get an idea of what I'm doing, and it's like a anime, like an anime arc where the hero is first beaten down by the villain, and then they come back stronger than ever to defeat you. And I just think that's a lot of fun. After I'm done with deleting all these, I will figure out if any of these cards had been banned and delete them so that I'll get rid of that so that I can figure that out. How long have you played Magic? You know, that's a good question. I've been playing it for a very long time. I want to say since I was, well, let me think about this. If I started playing since I was 8, that would be 15? Wait, no, that's not right. No, yeah, that would be right. I would have been playing for about 15 years now. I don't get to play it a lot, but when I do, I always have a good time. Wait. Another one of those cards. Draw and pay all. Yeah, this is an example of a card that the way it's worded is different because it's old. Where they say draw and pay all mana. When they say draw, they just mean like using the lands. Because to play cards, you might have noticed there's a little cost in the top right corner of each card. You tap lands, or there are other things that can do it, but mostly lands, to... I'm just not going to bother with that. Acquire mana. And different kinds of cards will have different costs. Usually, the stronger the card, the more mana it costs. You can only play one land per turn, and yeah. It's just a lot of fun. Another deck I like to play, or the last deck that I wanted to tell you guys about that I play, is a green one. It's my elf deck, where it's relevant to the mana thing. Like I said, sometimes there are... This is a token. I have a separate pile for tokens. So let's just put that over there. What's this? Okay. I want to make sure you guys can see what's going on. Where was I? Oh yeah, so like I said, certain cards, there are other ways of getting mana other than through lands. There's a lot of land, what's called mana ramping in the green color Magic cards. In my elf deck, basically every single one of my cards also creates mana, except for one of the handful of cards in there that either search for other cards or are giant, unkillable, just murderous monsters. And as a result, it's just I keep filling the board with a bunch of things so that you can't kill me, and I don't really attack you until eventually I find one of my big scary cards, and then I start pounding into my opponent until they're gone. I found it's the most reliable deck I've made, which is kind of funny. Wait for each mountain. No, thank you. It's kind of funny because it's also, or it's kind of funny it's my most reliable deck because it's also the largest deck. It has over 200 cards in it. I don't remember the exact number, but it's big, and it's impressive. It's totally legal as long as you don't count the fact that the cards come from different sets. And yeah, I don't like that each time a new set comes out, the Wizards of the Coast, which is the company that owns Magic the Gathering, makes it so that cards from previous sets are no longer usable. It just seems so annoying and wasteful almost. But oh well, not really much I can do about it. Hopefully one day they will see the error of their ways and change it around. Let's see. Anyone who is here early may have noticed, or anyone who's here early or is a part of the Discord may have noticed that I started the pre-stream a little bit later than usual. For anyone not aware, especially if this is during the VOD, the pre-stream is something I do before... Oh, that's all. Okay. Before the stream starts. It's a time for me to answer questions, and it's a time for me to troubleshoot any issues with the stream. I don't start, like, doing anything there. It's just a time to talk with you guys, honestly. I delete the pre-stream for the VOD because I feel like that's the right thing to do. And yeah. Here we go. Let me quickly just delete those. Okay. What's I just saying? Right. I changed it at the suggestion of a close friend who pointed out that having half an hour of just nothing to look at was a bit much. I still need some time to like troubleshoot things before streams start, and I feel like having a pre-stream thing where people can talk to me makes sense because I won't be able to read their comments as much during the stream itself. So I just dropped it from half an hour to 10 minutes. And seeing how well it happened today, I think that is about the perfect amount of time. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that one. Oh, that's cute. I never noticed that. I didn't even know they had that kind of... I didn't notice they had cartoony cards before. Yeah, they stopped having that kind of aesthetic. That's interesting. I guess anything that involves a six-sided die would fall under gimmicks that aren't used, or that were only used for a short while. So I should probably also get rid of those. End a spell if each player other than the caster and her teammates agrees to choose and discard a card. You play a new game with 3 more players. Oh, that's interesting. I might separate that entirely. Figure out whether or not I use it only after I've figured out who's going to be playing with me. What the heck? Censorship. Oh wait, you know what? Okay, I should have been paying more attention. If you look closely at the border of these cards, they're all silver. That's because these cards are not legal. They are joke cards. So let's see. That includes this one, actually. Let's see how many... Okay. Looks like that might have been it. Clear those out. I'll have to... look at... Sorry. I'm gonna have to check after all this is done, probably off screen, and make sure I delete any other cards that are joke cards that I didn't even notice. Kind of embarrassing. I love the joke cards, but yeah, I would definitely have to ban them, because oh yeah, I'm also not running a sliver deck, so I can get rid of any slivers I find. No. That's not what I meant to do. That needs to go back there. Now what is this? No. Okay. Back to the Queen of England who passed the other day. Or the other day. Who passed yesterday, even. In honor of the Queen, even though we are American, my mother and I drank tea yesterday, and I was thinking about it, and my sister wanted to make all of her stuff a lot sweeter, and we thought, nah, she doesn't need more sugar. But I was thinking about it, and it's like, I think that that's a really fitting way to honor someone, is like, specifically with like the tea, just because it's like a bitter tea to represent the death of a person, you know? It shouldn't be that sweet. At most it could be bittersweet, but it shouldn't be sweet, it should be bitter, you know? It's a sad thing that just happened. Honor that with your bitter tea. Everyone should be drinking bitter tea for the next few days, I think. If you're drinking tea and it's not bitter, then I think that you are a monster. Definitely a monster. For those of you who don't understand that my sometimes funny sense of humor, that is a joke. Let's see. Card. Okay, one thing I wanted to talk about is... it's a free-to-play card. Nice. Wait, I don't understand this. You need your keep with the Kagami. Play it without paying its mana cost. Do you have to play it? I don't know if I understand this card. Do you have to do the suspend action to play it? Like you just can't play it? Or is it free to... Normally if it's free to cost, it has a little zero. I'm going to say that probably means that it can only be played if you use its ability. That's interesting. I personally think they could have put like a little infinity symbol in the top corner. Just to say, if you want to play it, you have to do that. But I'm not them. I'm not Wizard of the Coast. So, what do I know? What was I just thinking? So I talked about... I wanted to talk about the Discord channel a little bit more. Where I was gonna say... So this happened a while back, but I wasn't Wait a second. I wasn't here as a stream last week, so I haven't gotten a chance to talk about it yet. I had, at the recommendation of someone on the Discord, I split the art channel into 3 separate channels. A work in progress channel for anyone who just wants to share something they're working on. A feedback channel for people who want suggestions for their artwork, and the showcase channel, which is the showcase channel is going to be the one used for all events moving forward. And speaking of events, I've mentioned this before. There's currently a Draw Yourself as a Villain events going on the channel. When you make a submission, make sure to put in your submission that that it is in fact a submission, so that I can look at it and know how many people have submitted and all that good jazz. It doesn't need to be a submission in order to be submitted, or not submitted, posted in that channel though. That channel is just brain slowly dying. Wait, cover one more target creatures to don't need that. Anything you want to show off can go in there. So it's basically for any finished art, but it's also where I'm having all submitted artworks go, or event submissions go. If you wait, that's weird. Weirdly worded. But yeah. Oh, let's see. So I've talked about the fact that today is going to be my D&D day. I've talked to you guys about how I went to Comic-Con and advertised the MemNPC organization. I've talked about the art events today. Sorry, I'm just going over my list. Talked about the Discord channel. I talked about one thing that I'm planning on adding is a special Discord channel, or a Discord channel on my Discord server, just for people who have won previous competitive Discord art events. I'm gonna call it the winners. What did I call it? Winners channel, winners chat, something like that. It isn't available yet, and it won't be available until I have just a couple more winners. So if you want to see that happening, join the Discord server. When each event ends, vote for a competitive event, so that more people can win and eventually get to the point where there's enough winners to have a winners circle, winners channel. Actually, not. What's this? Top X to your library. Perfect. Okay. Next up, let's see. We talked about the winners channel. Do a creature by another creature if they share color. That's a no. Talked a bit about Magic Gathering. Probably gonna talk a bit more. That one's fine. I talked about why I play mill decks. There's a lot of let's say not quite controversy, but there's people Many people don't like players who play mill decks. I think it's just because it goes against the grain, but I don't know why that should matter. Honestly. Let's see. I've talked about the nature of information in the modern era. I guess I could have gone more in depth about like the amazing invention that is the telephone and the internet. But I'm pretty sure, how did I do that? That you guys already get the idea. Like, it's amazing. So, yeah. Perfect. I talked about why we should be drinking more bitter tea for the next week or so. I've talked about the other decks I use, from the mill deck to the elf deck. Let's see. I talked about how when I play Magic, I'm kind of like the anime villain, in which the heroes lose at first and then come back stronger until they overcome the villain. I've talked about how the change to the pre-stream chill time allotment. I've talked about how I think I've talked about how I play, how I have my own rule about what cards are and are not legal. Just a refresher. To me, as long as it hasn't been banned and isn't part of a single, and not part of like a gimmick that was only available for a short period of time, I think it's fine. If I play Magic the Gathering on stream, or in future streams or videos, let me know what kind of decks you would like to see. Because if I just kept playing the same thing over and over again, I'm pretty sure you guys would get pretty bored of it pretty quickly. I could have some future streams in which I just tell you guys about the different kinds of decks, and then maybe I could have a poll on the Discord to decide what I play. Snow. Another snow one. Snow. I think the next few are just gonna be snow stuff. Donuts equal numbers. Yep. Perfect. Okay, cool. Neutral, put into graveyard from play, Lou life for each age. Okay, whatever. So I guess, weird. There was something else I wanted to say, but because I had thought about it while reading these off, but it's gone from my memory. Oh yeah, one other thing I remember now. So, I stopped playing for a while. In regards to Snow card, because I got tired of playing Commander. Everyone was always playing Commander. They would not play anything other than Commander. And that's why we got cards like this one, where it's just, rather than pay the Commander's mana cost. So it's just cards where the whole point is just, you know, I don't even want to explain Commander, because I got sick of it. There's way too much of it, and I didn't think it was that fun. The only interesting bit I felt was the fact that it limited you from having up to 4 of any given card, to only having one of any given card. But I don't like it. Just another reminder, the cards I am putting in left hand are just cards that specifically work towards the win condition. I'm not necessarily going to be using all 800 of these cards. In fact, I'm probably going to throw away most of them, just because there's cards that do what they do a lot better than they do it. We're going to be wrapping this up in 15 minutes, by the way, because I have to get ready for my Dungeons & Dragons game, which is going to be happening. I don't really think I need to tell you guys about it, since you guys aren't going to be there to watch it. It's something I just do with my friends. Okay, I'm on the fence about this gimmick, the transforming gimmick. Basically, each of the transferring cards just have a condition that once they've met that condition, you can transform them. This is the wrong thing that transforms into. It's just having difficulty loading the actual thing. And for now, just because it isn't something that can be abused, I don't think, I'm going to go ahead and say it's fine. But that would... If you would draw a card while there is no cards, that's also pretty cool. That's something I might change my mind about and get rid of. We will see. Also, just because I have a card put in the right one does not mean I won't be using it. The only cards I'm guaranteed to not use are the ones I'm deleting, which are the ones I'm currently putting in the middle. It's a matter of first looking through the pile on the right for what kind of build I want, how I'm going to put it together. What does this transform into? Just a flying card? Okay. What was I keep blanking on the thing that I'm literally saying as I'm saying it. Unfortunate. But yeah. That's interesting. I like that. Right, so it's figuring out what kind of a deck I even want to make by going through the cards on the left, and then making a deck that supports it using the cards on the right. That's... cards all characters except color of any one creature employed on either side. And creature enchantments on the original creature are not copied. You may take characteristics of a different creature in play instead. We continue to copy the creature even after the creature leaves play, but it just won't be able to switch back. That is not what I meant to do. I'm just gonna delete it. It's too meh. And now it's bad. Okay. And by meh, I just meant it was confusing and wordy, and I didn't like it. Something I've noticed is that there's a lot of support for blue artifact mill, like a combination of those three things. Right. gameplay if I replace one color. Nah. Looks like we're going to be ending this in 10 minutes. And yeah. I want to thank everyone who showed up today. I have a lot of appreciation for anyone who watches my stuff for any reason. I never expected. This goes double for anyone watching during the VOD. It's just... Wait, controller. That's weird. Like, I just never would have expected you guys to want to watch the VOD. So, when people do, it fills me with such gratitude, honestly. My friend Floof expressed that if I could make her a deck that is simple enough, she might be interested in playing. So but I would have to make her the deck. So I'm also, while I'm doing this, trying to think of what I could make for her. I think that the mill win condition might be a little too complicated. Not necessarily complicated, but it's confusing for someone who has no experience in Magic, I think. So I'm probably going to make her a much more standard... Okay, new rule. If something is difficult to read, I'm just going to not. But yeah, so as someone who's brand new to it, I'm going to want to make her something that's a bit easier to look at. Wait, this is actually just an artifact. It's a blue artifact, but it's still a colorless artifact. Not a blue artifact, there are actual blue artifacts. It is a artifact that works only with blue decks, but it is nonetheless still an artifact. So we've gone through almost 500 cards over the course of this stream. Yeah, if I had actually taken the time to read all of them, this would have taken way too long. I might have a stream going over the cards that I actually choose and explaining them, why I chose them for the deck at a future date, once the deck itself is actually finished. Still have 8 minutes. Sorry if I suddenly seem a lot more quiet. I'm nervous about starting to talk now because I fear that if I get too into talking about anything, I will lose track of time, and I'll end up going way over and not have enough time to get ready for D&D. Raft. That's cool. It would have been cool to end on this one, because then I could say, make sure to skyscribe or something like that. You enchant opponent, skip your draw step, whenever enchanted opponent draws a card, you may draw a card. Sure. That's pretty good. Especially if it's going up against someone else who has a lot of draw. But even if they don't, there's enough other draw cards that I don't need to have my own draw phase. So there's a good chance that that'll end up going into my final deck. We will see. I'm a little bit surprised there's not like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a so earlier I showed you guys the card that said if you have 200 or more cards in your deck or in your library, that's a really fun card. You win automatically. It's called Battle of Wits. I'm surprised that they never made a card that said something like I imagine it would be a sorcery that says if you have exactly 0 cards in, let's say if you have exactly 0 cards in your deck and graveyard, you win the game. So the goal will be to banish every one of your cards or get them all onto the field and then play this spell. Like, it would be a garbage card, completely unusable. But I think that it would be I think it would be really cool. Interesting, trying to see if someone could make it work. That's the kind of thing I like about Magic, is finding ways of playing cards that generally aren't that great. It's fun. Also, we've officially gone through over 500 cards. That's pretty cool, I think. Perhaps next time I will do this again, but with the all the artifacts I still have to go through. Yeah. I think after I've gone through the cards that I'm definitely gonna put in from the left one. What? Interesting. What was I gonna say? Yeah, okay, after I go through all the cards I'm gonna have in this left pile, I'm gonna go through the right pile and do the whole thing again, except looking for any cards that have synergy with artifacts. If I'm going to be doing a deck that uses a lot of artifacts. If not, then I'm just going to not bother. But yeah. I've already gone through all the lands and organized them in this exact way, where I have all the lands that I might use because it would help me with my win condition, and all the lands I might use in general, and then I've deleted most of the other lands, except for ones that might have their own other that might be helpful in specific kinds of decks depending on what I find and what I throw together. Wait, that's crazy. I'm definitely gonna need to go through these and figure out which cards are banned, because I don't know. Okay, this is an example of 2 cards with identical art, but as you can see, one of them looks a lot cleaner than the other, so I'm going to delete the less clean version with the same artwork. I was lucky that they were right next to one another. Normally they are not, and I have to like go through the whole thing. It's a little less specific, but still too specific in my opinion. We have 1 more minute, so I guess I should start wrapping up. Okay, well, so thank you everyone who's joined me live. I have so much love and appreciation for all of you. Thank you anyone watching the VOD. I am amazed that you decide to spend this time watching me. That's amazing. Thank you. And do all the YouTube things, you know, liking the video, subscribing, stabbing your neighbor, checking out my channel, check the Discord, all the good stuff. I guess that'll be all. Thanks for joining me, and bye-bye.